Welcome to Simple Software Tutorials. In this video, I'm going to give you a general overview of Adobe XD. So if you're familiar with the other Adobe products like Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, you're probably going to have an interesting time adapting to Adobe XD. And here's why. Just looking at it, you can see that it's pretty plain and basic. I remember opening it the first time and just wondering, okay, where's the rest of it? The nice thing about this is that it is so simple. It keeps you from overcomplicating things, and it can actually work out really well. And it does work very nicely with the other products, which is great. So let's just take a quick look here. So what I'm looking at is my artboard right here. So right now it's blank. Down the left here we have our tools here. So again, you're going to think they're pretty basic, but there's a ton that we can do here. So just starting off, we have our rectangle tool. You can do squares or rectangle. If you hold down shift, it forces it into a nice even square there, or you can let go of shift and make a rectangle. Now you've got some tools over here that will help that rectangle. You can size it here. You can change different you can change the border radius for all of the corners. So if I wanted to change it to like a 5-point radius, I could do that. I can add some color here, so I can change the border color or the fill color. If I want to change the radius just for some of the corners, I can do that here. So if I wanted just certain corners, so like top left, top right, bottom left, I can control the radius on each corner. And then there's some other options here. So if I want to add a shadow, I can do so. Next is a circle. So same thing, I can either draw an oval or I can hold down shift and make it a circle here. As you can see, it has these alignment guides here. So if I want to make sure things are aligned, I can do that. If I wanted this like 50 pixels and lined in the center, I can easily do that just like that. So same thing, I can control the sizing from over here. I've got my fill and border, so if I wanted to fill it a certain color, so if I wanted to fill it blue, I could do so very easily. So we have next a triangle or polygon tool. So I can align it again right there. Now what you're going to see down here are some options. So this is asking me how many sides do I want. So right now I have 3, which makes it a triangle, but if I wanted to make it an octagon, I could press 8, hit enter. Now I have an octagon. So if I wanted to then fill that with red, make it look like a stop sign, there we go. I can remove the border by unchecking this box, and I've got some other options here to play with. We also have the line tool, so if I wanted to create a line under here, I can. If I want a straight line, I can hold shift and it's going to just make that nice and straight for me. So then I can line it up with my shapes. So more options here. I can control the thickness, so if I wanted this maybe set to 3 points, I can do that. I can make it dashed if I want to, so we can just kind of increase that there. Lots of options. Okay, there's the pen tool, so if you want to make something a little different here, we can do that. I don't use the pen tool very much. I don't know who does, but it is an option here. You've got your things down here, so if you wanted to fill it with something, we can do so. We have our text tool, so you can either just click and start typing, or if you want to define your text box, so if we want to fit it in right here, we can do that and just add some text to it. So I can put some text in here. So I can reposition the box here if I want to. I can change the font size, so I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can change the font face. all of that good stuff. Now there are two different options here. So what we have right here is area text. So that means that I have selected an area where I want this text to show up and that it's going to wrap in the box that I created for it. Now if we want it to perform as if I just clicked and started typing and didn't set a box, I can do that. I can change it right now. I can change it to point text. So now if I add to it, it's just going to keep going until I write off the page. So if I decide maybe that was a mistake, what I can do again is click on here. I can click on area text. It's going to make that text box so I can easily adjust. So pretty handy text tool there. We have the artboard tool. So if I want to add additional artboards, I can do so. I can add, I'm just going to click on this. So there's a whole bunch of different artboards I can add. So if I'm designing both for web and different devices, I can do so by clicking here. So if I wanted to add maybe iPad, it's going to put that right there. If you ever want to undo something, they don't really have a lot of options for that. It's just good old-fashioned Control Z or Command Z. Now, if I want to move my artboard, see it's now out of the page. What I can do to easily do that is hold down the Shift button and then click and drag my artboard where I want it. So next here is Zoom. So I don't really use this either. It can be handy, but I don't know. So you can either click as it is to zoom in or hold down Alt and click to zoom out. What I like to do is hold down Control and roll my scroll bar up or down to move it around. Now down here you have a couple more things. So we have your assets. So this is any content that you have added into your document. So what you can see here is I've added some colors here. This is my color scheme that I have. Character style, so I've added text. So if this is my official text that I want to use, I can click here to add it. And then components too. So if I want to turn these into like symbols, I can add them as components or icons. So it's pretty great to have that all right here. That way you don't have to search for them. You've got a searchable library here. So if I wanted to look for something, a specific icon that I had added here, I can do so. Next up we have layers. So I have some more stuff on other artboards. But what we're seeing here is my different artboards and then the layers on each. So this is the one that we're on. So I want to look at that. So I just double clicked it. So what I should eventually do once I get a more defined project here is group these together and name the groups. So I know what I'm working with and I can easily add to it, edit it. I can pass it along to somebody else to take over. Now this last item down here is plugins. Now this is a lot of fun here. So plugins are add-ons, I guess, that help you accomplish things in this tool. So when you start, you're not going to have any plugins, so you can click on the plus and this is going to open up the plugin store, I guess is what you'd call it. So you can browse here if there are certain categories that you want to look at. So if we wanted to look in top rated, most popular, most recent, you can scroll through. You can look in categories here. So if you want collaboration, tools and automation, usability testing, things like that, you can take a look here. And as of right now, all of these are free. I don't know if they will always be free, but they are for right now. So I highly recommend going through and taking a look at what's in here, installing them. Installing them is really easy. So let's take a look at this calendar one here. So it's an easy way to create a calendar. Now, if you're building dashboards or a number of tools, it's probably going to be useful to have this kind of plugin to help automate this. So you can take a look, you can read the ratings and kind of see what people think about it, and then just click to install. And boom, there it is. It's super easy and you can see what the functionalities are on here. So So I'm just going to click on Make Calendar. I'm just using the default settings. So, oh, here we go. We're going to select this one. There we go. So I was able to easily generate a calendar, and I could get a lot more specific with it. But how nice is that? And it's fully functional, so makes it really, really easy to get things accomplished in here. You can also prototype. So what prototyping is where you basically link your document together how it would function in real life. So say that you've designed a website or a mobile app. What you can do is you can use prototyping to then connect different items and how they function. So then you can see how they work together and how they would react in real life. So it's really cool. I'll get more into that in another video. And then sharing is great. So another great thing about this, especially if you've gone to the trouble of prototyping it, is you can then share it. So you can generate a link, and you can choose whether you want to require a password or whatever. You can generate a link that is accessible by whoever you send it to, and they will be able to open that link and provide comments on it if you want them to be able to do that. And they can see and feel for themselves how this document works, how your design works and functions in reality. And also, by prototyping your design, you're going to find things that you missed, that you didn't think to include in there, like back buttons or the ability to cancel instead of save, all of that stuff. So it's pretty handy. You have some other things up here. So I'm going to show you this repeat grid. So what the repeat grid is handy for is, let's see here. So I'm going to add a circle here. So I clicked on circle. I'm going to hold down Shift to make it a nice, perfectly round circle. So say I want several of these across my page. What I can do is I can click on the item that I want to repeat, and then I can click on Repeat Grid. And see how it turns green? So I can drag over here and it's going to repeat them there. And then if I want to repeat down here, I can do so as well. So then what I can do is I can ungroup it, and now I've got all of these shapes here. So I can move them, maybe. Here we go. I can spread them out a bit more if I need to fill the area. I can color certain ones by selecting Shift. So if I want these ones to be red, I can make them red, and then maybe these ones blue. I can do that. So it's pretty handy to use that repeat grid. Lots of stuff you can do. So I think this is a pretty good intro, just some basics on everything. Be sure to check out my other videos on how to do some cool stuff in Adobe XD. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, check out my website at simplesoftwaretutorials.com, and have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in.